My name is Lucas Bennett, and I'm 32 years old, standing in the grand foyer of my parents' colonial home in Wellesley, Massachusetts, on December 24th, 2025. The house is a Christmas postcard. Twinkling white lights weave along the oak banister. A 10-foot spruce glows with gold and silver ornaments in the living room, and the warm scent of pine, mulled wine, and Mom's cinnamon cookies fills the air. Laughter and clinking glasses spill from the dining room, where my extended family gathers for our annual holiday party, a tradition rooted in my grandparents' era. But I'm rooted here, clutching a glass of eggnog that's gone lukewarm, my chest tight with the sting of rejection. My sister Olivia, 3 years older, orchestrated this moment, her voice cutting through the festive hum minutes ago. "Lucas, maybe sit this one out. Family only, you know?" The room erupted in laughter, cousins and aunts glancing away, my parents silent, their faces averted. In my pocket, my phone buzzes with an email from a real estate agent about a $4.5 million coastal estate in Chatham, Cape Cod, the dream house my family's coveted for years. What they don't know is I'm poised to buy it, not to ruin them, but to teach them a lesson they'll carry forever. Before I unravel how I turned their cruelty into my triumph, let me take you back to the roots of this divide. Growing up in Wellesley was a privileged life, but it came with invisible thorns. Our parents, Dad, a cardiologist with a steady hand and sharper wit, and Mom, a charity board member whose elegance charmed every room, provided a world of opportunity. Piano lessons, sailing camps, a red brick colonial home with a library where I'd escape into science fiction novels. Olivia was the star, a radiant violinist with Mom's poise and Dad's charisma, always commanding the spotlight at school recitals, church bazaars, and family gatherings. I was the shadow, the quiet kid who'd rather disassemble a computer in the basement than bask in applause. Our home, with its white shutters and manicured lawn, was a showcase of success, but inside, it was a stage where Olivia shone, and I struggled to be seen. The first wound came early, at 7. I spent weeks building a model rocket for a school science fair, gluing fins and wiring a tiny parachute, dreaming of it soaring above the playground. Dad promised to watch, but he was at Olivia's piano recital, where she played Chopin flawlessly at 10. My rocket launched perfectly, earning a blue ribbon, but when I showed Mom, she said, "That's nice, Lucas," her eyes drifting to Olivia's trophy case, gleaming with gold. Olivia smirked, her ponytail swinging. "Cute rocket, Luke. Too bad it's not music." The kitchen filled with her laughter, and I swallowed my pride, a habit that took root. By middle school, Olivia was the golden girl, straight A's, debate team captain, a soloist in the town orchestra. I was the tech kid, coding games in my room, my desk littered with circuit boards and soda cans. At 13, I built a website for a local bakery, earning $500, my first paycheck. At a family barbecue, Olivia announced her acceptance to a prestigious summer music camp, and my gig got a distracted nod. "That's pocket change," she said, winking at our cousins. Dad chuckled. Mom refilled her wine, and I stayed silent, my victory dimmed. That silence became my armor, but it cost me dearly. In high school, Olivia was valedictorian, prom queen, destined for Harvard. I was the nerd in the computer lab, creating an app that tracked homework, my grades impeccable but unnoticed. At 16, I sold that app for $10,000, a fortune to a teenager. At my birthday dinner, surrounded by aunts and uncles in our dining room's chandelier glow, Olivia stole the moment, announcing her early acceptance to Harvard. My deal earned a brief, "Good job, Lucas," from Dad, drowned by cheers for Olivia. "Don't bore us with tech stuff, Luke," she teased, her smile sharp. The table laughed, my cousins nudging each other, and I gripped my fork, the hurt burrowing deep. I vowed to outshine her one day, not with her charm, but with my work. After high school, I went to MIT, diving into computer science, while Olivia sailed through Harvard, then law school. I graduated in 2015, magna cum laude, and founded Bennett Tech, a startup crafting AI-driven project management tools. The early years were grueling, coding through sleepless nights in a cramped Cambridge studio, surviving on ramen and Red Bull, every dollar reinvested. By 2018, we had 10 employees and $1 million in revenue. By 2023, we hit $50 million, with clients like Google, IBM, and Salesforce. I lived frugally, a one-bedroom in Boston's South End, a used Tesla, my wealth tucked into investments, and a robust savings account. Olivia, meanwhile, joined a top Boston law firm, earning $200,000 a year, but spending it faster. Chanel bags, a Back Bay condo she could barely afford, a leased Mercedes gleaming in her Instagram posts. She positioned herself as the family's beacon, dismissing my success as tech geek stuff, a niche too arcane for their praise. The family bought her narrative. At reunions, Olivia held court, spinning tales of courtroom triumphs, her laughter filling the room. My milestones: Inc. 5,000 listings, a Forbes 30 under 30 nod in 2022, met polite smiles or quick subject changes. Mom would say, "Lucas does computers," her tone vague, as if I tinkered in a garage. Dad praised Olivia's real impact, his cardiologist's logic equating law with legacy. My cousins, aunts, and uncles echoed her, treating me as the quirky sidekick, not a serious contender. I tried to connect, hosting dinners at my apartment, sharing my success, but Olivia's charisma outshone me. "Don't bore us with algorithms, Luke," she'd quip at Thanksgiving, and the table would chuckle, my parents joining, oblivious to the sting. I'd force a smile, my anger simmering beneath the surface. In 2024, the divide widened. Olivia became obsessed with the Cape House, a $5 million shingle-style mansion in Chatham, Cape Cod, with ocean views, a private beach, and a wraparound porch framed by hydrangeas. Our family had vacationed nearby for years, renting cottages in Harwich, dreaming of owning a coastal retreat. Olivia made it her crusade, dragging mom, dad, cousins, and aunts to open houses, posting Instagram photos of the estate's cedar shakes, sea glass windows, and driftwood staircase. "This is our legacy," she'd say at family dinners, her eyes alight, her voice carrying the table. "I'm working on a deal to make it ours." She lacked the funds. Her salary and maxed credit cards couldn't touch it, but the family rallied around her vision, assuming her charm would close the gap. I stayed quiet, my own thoughts churning, a seed of defiance sprouting. Early 2025 brought a hiccup for Bennett Tech. A key client, a Silicon Valley giant, delayed a $10 million contract, pinching our cash flow. I took a short-term $5 million loan to cover payroll and R&D, a routine move for startups. But Olivia somehow sniffed it out, likely snooping through my emails during a February visit to my apartment. I caught her glancing at my laptop screen, her excuse flimsy, but I dismissed it, trusting family too much. By Easter brunch, she'd spun a tale, whispering to cousins that I was struggling, my little tech thing, teetering on collapse. At the table, surrounded by pastel napkins and mom's quiche, she said, "Lucas, don't worry. We'll help if your startup tanks," her tone dripping with false pity. Cousins snickered, Aunt Clara patted my arm, Mom sighed, and Dad changed the subject to Olivia's latest case. I forced a smile, my jaw tight, vowing to prove them wrong. By June 2025, Bennett Tech roared back, the contract signed, revenues soaring to $75 million. I kept it under wraps, weary of Olivia's spin. In July, the Cape House relisted at $4.5 million, a price drop due to the owner's urgent sale after a divorce. Olivia doubled down, emailing family about our dream home, oblivious to her financial limits. She'd lead tours, Mom gushing over the kitchen's marble counters, Dad eyeing the beachfront deck, cousins planning summer barbecues. I saw the listing online, its ocean views stirring memories of childhood summers, clam bakes on the shore, kites dancing in the wind, dreams of a family haven. An idea took root, bold and perilous. I contacted the agent, Jane, a brisk woman with a Boston accent, and learned the owners needed a quick close by year-end. With $20 million in liquid investments, I could make an all-cash offer, but it meant draining $4 million, a quarter of my safety net. I wrestled with the decision, my motives tangled, revenge for their dismissal, or a bid to claim my place. Olivia's Easter pity, her Cape House obsession, tipped the scale. Tonight's holiday party is the breaking point. I arrive at 5:30 p.m., my gift, a rare first edition Dune for Dad, his favorite novel, tucked under my arm. The house is a winter dream, garlands looping the staircase, a fire crackling in the living room's stone hearth, Bing Crosby's voice drifting from speakers. 30 relatives fill the dining room, their chatter warm but barbed. Olivia, in a red velvet dress that screams Bergdorf's, holds court at the head of the table, regaling cousins with a story of outsmarting a rival lawyer. Mom, in a pearl necklace and emerald sweater, flits about with trays of stuffed mushrooms, while Dad, graying but jovial in a tartan vest, pours Cabernet. I try to join, setting my gift on a sideboard, offering a toast to family. Olivia cuts me off, her voice sharp, her smile venomous. Lucas, maybe sit this one out. Family only, you know? The room explodes in laughter, cousins choking on wine, aunts whispering, Uncle Ted avoiding my gaze. Mom busies herself with a cheese platter, Dad sips his wine, there's silence louder than the jeers. The word family slices through me, a public shunning masterminded by Olivia, enabled by their complicity. I retreat to the foyer, eggnog in hand, my face burning, the laughter echoing like a slap. My phone buzzes, Jane's email, confirming the Cape House is available, closing possible by December 28th, just 4 days away. The timing's surreal, a cruel or cosmic gift. I could walk away, let Olivia's narrative stand, but I'm done being the invisible son, the tech geek they dismiss. I text Jane, draft the offer. All cash, for $0.5 million. My fingers tremble, a mix of defiance and doubt flooding me. Am I buying a house to punish them, or to prove I belong? The line's blurry, but the decision's made. Emma, my cousin and a financial planner who's always seen through Olivia's facade, finds me in the foyer, her auburn hair catching the chandelier's light, her green sweater festive but her eyes fierce. What the hell was that? She whispers, nodding toward the dining room. Olivia's crossed a line, even for her. I shrug, my voice tight. Same story, different day. I'm not family, apparently. Emma's jaw tightens, her voice low. She's jealous, Lucas. Bennett texts bigger than her law firm dreams, and it kills her. Don't let her win. She's my only confidant, privy to my $75 million revenue, my Forbes nod. I tell her about the Cape House, my voice a hushed confession. Her eyes widen, then spark with approval. That's bold, she says, a grin breaking through. Do it. Show them who you are, not who she says you are. Her words anchor me, a lifeline in the storm of exclusion. The party drones on, Olivia's laughter grating like nails on chalk, the family's dismissal a heavy fog. I try one last time, joining a group by the fireplace, offering a story about a Google deal. Olivia interrupts. Lucas, save the tech talk for your coders, her wink sparking more chuckles. I nod, my smile brittle, and slip out at 9 p.m., the cold night air a relief. Driving back to Boston, the city lights blur through my windshield, my anger crystallizing into purpose. In my apartment, a minimalist space of glass and steel, I open my laptop, Jane's offer letter glowing on the screen. I sign it digitally, my hand steady, for $0.5 million shifting from my accounts with a click. This isn't just a purchase, it's a reckoning. Olivia shunned me, but I'm buying their dream house. When they face the truth, they'll see me, not as the sidelined son, but as the one who built an empire from silence. December 25th, 2025, dawns cold and quiet in Boston, a thin layer of snow blanketing the city, softening the Charles River's edges as it glints under a gray sky. I'm in my South End apartment, a sleek space of glass and steel, perched on the 10th floor with a view of the skyline's jagged teeth. The hum of Christmas morning is absent here. No tree, no stockings, just the faint buzz of my laptop on my oak desk, cluttered with monitors, coffee mugs, and a single-framed photo of a Cape Cod beach from childhood summers. Last night's Christmas Eve party at my parents' Wellesley home still sears my mind. Olivia's sharp voice. Lucas, maybe sit this one out. Family only, you know. Followed by the family's laughter, their silence a louder betrayal. Jane's email glows on my screen, confirming my $4.5 million all-cash offer for the Chatham, Cape Cod estate. The shingle-style mansion my family, led by Olivia, has coveted for years. The closing is set for December 28th, 3 days away, a bold move that drained a quarter of my savings. Olivia shunned me, but I'm buying their dream house, not to crush them, but to force them to see me as more than the tech geek they dismiss. Today, I start crafting a plan to unveil this, turning their exclusion into my moment of triumph. The past 24 hours have been a whirlwind of defiance and doubt. After fleeing the party, humiliated by Olivia's jab and the family's complicity, I signed Jane's offer letter in a haze of anger, Emma's fierce words, "Show them who you are," echoing in my head. Her support, as my cousin and financial planner, steadied me, but the weight of $4.5 million is crushing. Bennett Tech, my AI-driven project management startup, is soaring at $75 million in revenue, but liquidating $4 million from my investments was a gamble. A delayed $10 million client contract in early 2025 exposed our cash flow's fragility, and though we've recovered, this purchase stretches my reserves thin. My phone buzzes with a text from Emma. "You okay after last night? Cape House locked in." I reply, "Offer signed. Closing 28th. Need a plan to make them see." Her response is swift. "Hell yes. Let's make Olivia eat her words. Lunch tomorrow, South End, noon." I agree, craving her sharp planner's mind to navigate this high-stakes move. By 9 a.m., I'm at my desk, the city's quiet amplifying my thoughts. The Cape House isn't just a purchase. It's a weapon, a way to rewrite the family's narrative that casts Olivia as the star and me as the sideline nerd. Olivia's been rallying them around our legacy, posting Instagram photos of the estate's oceanfront deck, its cedar shakes glowing in sunset light, claiming she's working on a deal despite her maxed-out credit cards and $200,000 lawyer's salary. I could announce my ownership now, a blunt jab, but that's too fleeting. I want them to feel the weight of their dismissal, to stand in the house they dreamed of and realize I, the one they shunned, claimed it. My plan takes shape. Host a family gathering at the Cape House on January 15th, a New Year's retreat, framed as a rented treat to mend holiday tensions. I'll invite them all, mom, dad, Olivia, cousins, aunts. Let them gush over their dream, then unveil the truth. I own it, built by the empire they ignored. But execution must be flawless, and Olivia's lawyer instincts will sniff out my move if I slip. At 10:30 a.m., Jane calls, her Boston accent brisk over the phone's crackle. "Sellers accepted, Lucas. Closings 10 a.m. December 28th at my Chatham office." "You're sure about all cash?" "That's a big swing." I pause, the sum echoing. $4.5 million, a quarter of my $20 million net worth, but my resolve holds. "I'm sure," I say, my voice steadier than I feel. She emails the paperwork, a dense PDF of terms and disclosures. I review it, heart pounding. The house's details vivid. 6 bedrooms, a gourmet kitchen with marble counters, a beachfront lawn fringed with dune grass. It's a dream I didn't know I shared until Olivia's obsession made it real. Her Instagram posts a constant drumbeat. But doubts creep in, sharp and cold. Am I sinking millions to spite her, to rub their faces in my success, or to claim a place in a family that's never fully seen me? Emma's words, "Don't let her win. Push me forward." I signed the forms digitally, wiring the $450,000 deposit, the balance due in 3 days, my savings account lighter, my future heavier. December 26th, I meet Emma at a South End cafe. Its exposed brick walls and espresso machine hum a cozy contrast to my churning thoughts. She's in a navy coat, her auburn hair loose, her planner's notebook open on the table, a latte steaming beside it. "Spill," she says, her eyes sharp but warm. I recount the closing, my plan for the January 15th retreat. I'll invite them as if I rented the house. I say, my voice low. Let Olivia gush, think she's close to her legacy, then reveal I own it. Emma's grin is wicked. Genius. She'll choke on her own smugness. But she's sharp. Her firm's got real estate contacts. If she digs, she'll find the sale. I nod, knowing Olivia's network could unearth public records. I'm using an LLC, Bennett Holdings, to hide my name. I say, a precaution, Jane suggested. Emma scribbles a note, her pen swift. Smart. But you need allies in the family. Aunt Clara's soft. She felt awful about Christmas. Work her, maybe Uncle Ted too. And watch Olivia. She's not sitting still. I hesitate. Clara's kind but spineless. Ted's a follower. But agree to try, knowing I can't do this alone. Back at my apartment, I dive into logistics, the retreat taking shape. The house is bare, Per Jane's photos, empty rooms, echoing hardwood floors. I contact Mia, a Boston interior designer, to furnish it by January 10th, budgeting $100,000 for minimalist coastal decor, linen sofas, driftwood tables, ocean blue rugs, beds for 20 guests. It's another financial hit, but the reveal demands a stage worthy of their dreams. I draft an invite for the retreat, framing it as a New Year's escape to reconnect after the holidays, my fingers pausing over the keyboard as Olivia's family-only jab stabs anew. Will they even come, or will they dismiss this too? I save the draft, resolve firming. I need to sell this, and I need it to hurt just enough to wake them up. December 27th, a setback lands like a punch. Priya, my CFO at Bennett Tech, calls, her voice tense over the line. Lucas, Q4 numbers are tight. That $10 million contracts payments are staggered. First tranche isn't due till March. We're short $2 million for R&D and expansion. My stomach drops. The Cape House drained my liquidity, and I can't pull from company funds without spooking investors. Options? I ask, gripping my phone. She sighs, her tone cautious. Delay R&D or take a loan. Maybe scale back personal spending. $4.5 million's a big pull. Her words sting, hinting at the house, though she doesn't know the details. I opt for a $3 million line of credit, hating the risk, but needing to protect Bennett Tech's growth. You sure you're okay? Priya presses, her voice soft. This feels personal. I brush it off, my jaw tight. It's under control. But her question lingers, a mirror to my doubts. Is this house a legacy for me, or a vendetta against Olivia? A memory surfaces, raw and jagged. I'm 9, at a Cape Cod rental, building a sandcastle with Mom on the beach. Olivia, 12, interrupts, dragging Mom to pose for photos, her laughter drowning my protests. Dad says, "Let her shine, Lucas," and I'm left alone, the tide washing my castle away. That dismissal forged me, pushed me to build Bennett Tech, to prove I'm more than Olivia's shadow. Now, at 32, I'm done fading. The Cape House is my sandcastle, rebuilt where they can't ignore it. December 28th, I drive to Chatham, the Cape's winter stillness wrapping the winding roads, pines dusted with snow. Jane's office is a shingle cottage, its walls lined with nautical charts and faded photos of lighthouses. I sign the final papers, my hand steady despite the weight of $4.05 million wiring from my account, the keys cold and heavy in my palm. Congrats, Lucas, Jane says, her smile warm. It's a gem, your family's lucky. I don't correct her, the irony biting. I visit the house, its cedar shakes glowing in the dusk, the ocean's roar a steady pulse. The empty rooms are vast, their hardwood floors gleaming under skylights, the beachfront porch bare, but promising. I stand there, the salt air sharp, my resolve hardening. Olivia's reign ends in this house. Her family only taunt a ghost I'll banish. January 2nd, 2026, Olivia makes her move. She posts an Instagram story from a Chatham cafe, a latte art heart in the frame, captioned, "Scouting our dream house. Big news soon. Hashtag Bennett Legacy." My heart skips. She's still chasing the Cape House, unaware I own it. Her post racks up likes, cousins commenting, "Go live," and "Can't wait." I text Emma, my fingers tense. Olivia's sniffing. "What's her play?" Emma replies, bluffing. Her firm's checking listings, probably public records. "Your LLC's tight, but she's close. Move fast." I revise the retreat invite, sending it to the family group chat. Join me for a New Year's retreat at a Cape Cod rental, January 15th. Let's reconnect. Responses trickle in. Mom's tentative sounds lovely, Dad's curt maybe, cousin's vague emojis, Uncle Ted's count us in. Olivia's silent, a warning sign, her absence louder than words. January 4th, I call Mia, checking the house's progress. "Furniture's shipping," she says, her voice upbeat. "Sofas, beds, dining table, coastal chic, ready by January 10th. You want art?" I add $20,000 for local seascapes, wincing at the cost, but needing the house to dazzle. Priya emails, her tone clipped, "Loans approved, but investors want a Q1 forecast." Your cash dips, raising eyebrows. The pressure's mounting, my empire teetering as I juggle Bennett Tech in this personal crusade. I work late, refining code for a new AI tool, my eyes gritty, The Cape House a constant hum in my mind. January 5th, I meet Aunt Clara at a Wellesley coffee shop, its windows fogged from the January chill. Her gray curls frame a face heavy with guilt, her hands fidgeting with a tea mug. "I'm so sorry about Christmas, Lucas," she says, her voice soft. Olivia went too far, but she's intense. I seize the opening, my tone gentle but firm. "We can fix it, Clara. Come to the Cape retreat. Bring the family together. It's a chance to start fresh." She nods, her smile wavering. "I'll try, dear." But Olivia's pushing her own Cape House plan. She's meeting a bank, says it's close. My stomach twists. Olivia's bluffing, her finances a mess, but her persistence is dangerous. "Keep me posted," I say, squeezing her hand, planting a seed of loyalty. January 7th, a memory hits, unbidden. I'm 14, in our basement, coding my first app, a task manager that sold for $10,000. Olivia, 17, mocks it as nerd toys. Dad laughs. Mom changes the topic. That pain drives me now. The Cape House my app writ large, a triumph they can't dismiss. I check the group chat, 20 RSVPs, including Mom, Dad, Clara, Ted, but Olivia's still silent, her Cape surprise a looming threat. January 10th, Mia sends photos. The Cape House transformed, with wicker chairs on the porch, a driftwood chandelier in the dining room, bedrooms soft with linen. It's stunning, but Olivia texts the family chat. "Big Cape news soon. Hashtag family first." The hashtag's a dagger, her family excluding me. Emma calls, urgent. She's meeting a realtor tomorrow. Your LLC's holding, but Clara says Olivia's talking loans. She's desperate. I call Clara, probing gently. "Olivia's pushing a mortgage," she whispers, nervous. "Thinks she can finance the house." Olivia's broke, but her bluff could expose me if she digs deeper. January 12th. I'm at the Cape House, Mia's team adjusting curtains, the ocean gray and restless. The porch smells of salt and cedar, the house a dream made real. I've sunk $4.7 million. House, decor, loans, my reputation, and empire on the line. Olivia's closing in, her surprise a shadow. But the retreat's 3 days away, and when they walk through this door, they'll see me. Not Olivia's shadow, but the man who built an empire and claimed their dream. January 15th, 2026, is a frigid winter day on Cape Cod, the Atlantic churning gray and restless under a sky heavy with clouds, the air sharp with salt and ice. I'm standing on the wraparound porch of my $4.5 million Chatham estate, a shingle-style mansion with weathered cedar shakes and sea glass windows, the dream house my family has coveted for decades. Inside, the house is a masterpiece. Linen sofas arranged around a stone hearth, driftwood tables catching the soft glow of a twisted branch chandelier, ocean blue rugs softening the hardwood floors, all curated by designer Mia for today's New Year's retreat. 20 relatives, including Mom, Dad, Aunt Clara, Uncle Ted, and my sister Olivia, are due to arrive in an hour, believing I've rented this house to heal the wounds of Christmas Eve, when Olivia's cutting remark, "Lucas, maybe sit this one out. Family only, you know," and the family's laughter left me shunned. They don't know I own this house. A secret I'll unveil tonight, transforming their dismissal into a moment they'll carry forever. My heart pounds, a cocktail of anticipation, defiance, and dread, as I prepare to confront the family that's cast me as the tech geek outsider, proving I'm the one who built an empire. The past 2 weeks have been a high-wire act of strategy and stress. Since closing the house on December 28th, I've sunk $120,000 into furnishing it, a financial stretch atop a $3 million loan for Bennett Tech, my AI-driven startup, to cover a $2 million cash flow gap from a delayed $10 million contract. Olivia's relentless pursuit of the Cape House, her January 2nd Instagram post boasting "big news soon," and her meetings with realtors, kept me on edge, but my LLC, Bennett Holdings, has shielded my ownership. Emma, my cousin and financial planner, has been my rock, rallying Aunt Clara's support and warning me of Olivia's probing. The retreat's RSVPs trickled in. Mom's hesitant "sounds lovely," Dad's curt "maybe," cousin's vague emojis, Uncle Ted's enthusiastic "count us in." But Olivia's silence was a red flag. Her January 10th text about a Cape surprise, a shadow over my plan. Clara's revelation that Olivia is chasing a mortgage, despite her maxed-out credit cards, pushed me to move faster. Today's the day I reclaim my place, but Olivia's lawyer instincts make her a formidable wild card. At 9 a.m., I'm in the kitchen, its marble counters gleaming under skylights, overseeing caterers as they arrange a $5,000 spread, oyster sliders, lobster rolls, cranberry tarts, a charcuterie board piled with artisanal cheeses. The dining room, with its long oak table set for 20, smells of fresh hydrangeas, their blue petals mirroring the ocean beyond the glass doors. Mia's team fluffs pillows, adjusts seascape paintings, ensuring every detail screams coastal elegance. My phone buzzes with a text from Emma. On our way with Clara and Ted. Olivia's confirmed. She's bringing a surprise. Brace yourself. My stomach knots. Olivia's surprise could upend my reveal, but I've prepared, rehearsing my speech in the empty house last night, the property deed tucked in a drawer upstairs. I wear a navy sweater and khakis, casual but deliberate, a contrast to Olivia's inevitable glamour. The house is my stage, and I'm ready to rewrite the family's narrative. By 11:30 a.m., cars crunch up the gravel drive, relatives spilling out in coats and scarves, their gasps audible as they take in the house's cedar facade, its dormer windows winking in the winter light, the beachfront lawn fringed with frozen dune grass. Mom, in a cream wool coat, clutches Dad's arm, her eyes wide with awe. "Lucas, this is breathtaking," she says, her voice soft, tinged with something like regret. Dad, graying in a navy parka, nods gruffly, his cardiologist's reserve intact. "Nice rental, son. Must have cost a fortune." Aunt Clara hugs me tightly, her gray curls brushing my cheek, whispering, "I'm so proud. Lucas, you've outdone yourself." Uncle Ted, usually blustery, claps my shoulder, his voice subdued. "Hell of a place, kid." Cousins mill about, snapping photos of the porch's wicker chairs, murmuring about Olivia's dream house, their Instagram stories already tagged with her name. Then Olivia arrives, stepping out of her leased Mercedes in a crimson coat, her blonde hair swept into a chignon, her smile radiant but razor-edged. "Lucas," she says, her voice dripping honey. "What a cute idea, renting our house for a day." The word "our" lands like a jab, her claim unbroken, but I smile, guiding them inside, my plan ticking like a bomb. The afternoon unfolds like a carefully staged play, guests touring the house, their voices echoing through the skylit bedrooms, the gourmet kitchen with its Viking range, the living room's stone hearth crackling with a fresh fire. Olivia takes the lead, her lawyer's poise commanding, pointing out the oceanfront deck as perfect for family summers, as if she's already its queen. "This is exactly what I envisioned," she says, her hand grazing the driftwood staircase, Mom nodding eagerly. "It's our legacy, Liv," Mom says, her pearl necklace catching the light. Dad lingers by the windows, staring at the gray waves, his silence heavy. Cousins post stories, captioning #BennettLegacy, assuming Olivia's Cape surprise is imminent. I play host, pouring Chardonnay, passing lobster rolls, my nerves taut as a wire. Emma pulls me into the pantry, its shelves stocked with catering supplies, her navy dress crisp, her voice a urgent whisper. Clara says Olivia's planning to announce a fake deal, some bank loan to secure the house. She's bluffing, but it'll steal your moment. Hit her now, before she spins it. I nod, my resolve stealing, but doubt gnaws. Will they believe me, or cling to Olivia's narrative, as they did at Christmas? At 2:30 p.m., I gather everyone in the living room, the hearth's warmth battling the chill seeping through the windows, the ocean's roar a steady pulse. I stand by the chandelier, its branches casting soft shadows, my hands steady despite the tremor in my chest. "Thanks for coming." I begin, my voice clear, meeting Mom's eyes, Dad's, Clara's, Ted's. This retreat's about family, about healing after Christmas, when I was told I wasn't family only. I pause, letting the words sink in, cousins shifting uncomfortably, aunts avoiding my gaze. Olivia leans against a sofa, her crimson coat a stark contrast to her tight smile, sensing a shift. "This house isn't rented," I say, my words deliberate. "I bought it. December 28th, all cash, for $0.5 million. It's mine. The room freezes, glasses pause mid-sip, phones lower, the fires crackle the only sound. Mom gasps, her hand flying to Dad's arm. Clara's eyes shine with tears, Ted's jaw drops, cousins whisper. Olivia's face goes rigid, her smile vanishing, her eyes narrowing to slits. I hold up the deed, its embossed seal glinting in the firelight. Bennett texts success, $75 million in revenue. Clients like Google, IBM, Salesforce made this possible. The tech geek you laughed off at Christmas built this empire, this house. I lock eyes with Olivia, her poise crumbling. You called this your legacy, Liv, but I made it real. Murmurs ripple. Cousins leaning forward, aunts clutching wine glasses, Uncle Ted muttering, no way. Mom's voice trembles. Lucas, we had no idea. Dad clears his throat, his face unreadable, caught between pride and guilt. Olivia steps forward, her voice sharp, slicing through the murmurs. This is a stunt, she snaps, her lawyer's tone honed. You're drowning in loans. Your startup's financials are public. You can't afford this, Lucas. Her words echo her Easter pity, her Christmas shunning, but I'm armed. The deal's done, I say, handing Emma the deed to pass around. Bennett Holdings, my LLC, owns it. Check the records yourself. Emma moves through the crowd, her planners calm a shield. As cousins scan the document, their whispers growing. It's real, he actually did it. Clara clutches my arm, tears spilling, her voice soft. You've earned this, Lucas. Ted nods, his bluster gone, muttering, damn kid. But Olivia's not finished. You're pathetic, she hisses, loud enough for all, her crimson coat flaring as she gestures. Buying our house to rub it in. You'll never be family, Lucas. The word family cuts like a blade, her Christmas jab reborn, and the room tenses, eyes swiveling between us, a showdown unfolding. I could crumble, like I did at 16 when Olivia stole credit for my $10,000 app sale, her nerd toys, taunt ringing as the family cheered her Harvard acceptance. Instead, I stand taller, my voice firm. Family doesn't shun, I say, meeting her gaze. I bought this house to show you who I am, not to take from you. You're welcome here, all of you. If you see me, not your narrative. The room's silent, Olivia's eyes blazing, but cracks appear. Mom's guilt, her hand trembling on Dad's arm. Dad's unease, his wine glass set down. Cousins shifting glances, their phones now filming me. Emma steps beside me, her voice clear, cutting through the tension. Lucas built an empire from nothing. Respect it, or leave. Clara nods, her tears falling freely, while Ted shifts uncomfortably, caught between loyalties. A cousin, Sarah, murmurs, he's right, Liv. A small but seismic shift. Olivia's composure fractures. This isn't over, she spits, spinning on her heel, her coat flaring as she storms to the porch, her phone already out, likely calling her realtor or firm. The family scatters, some approaching me, others whispering in clusters. Mom hugs me tightly, her voice breaking. I'm so sorry, Lucas. We didn't know, we should have seen you. Dad grips my hand, his cardiologist's calm shaken, his eyes wet. You've done well, son. Better than I realized. Their apologies feel late, tainted by years of Olivia's narrative, but they're a start. Sarah and two cousins offer awkward praise, their Instagram stories now tagging me. #LucasLegacy, a hashtag that stings with irony. Clara pulls me aside by the hearth, her voice soft but fierce. Olivia's hurt, but she'll come around. This house is yours, Lucas. You've changed everything. By 6 p.m., the retreat winds down, guests departing, their cars fading into the dusk, the house quiet but alive with my victory. Emma stays, helping clear plates, her grin fierce as she stacks tarts in a Tupperware. You slayed, Lucas, she says, her eyes bright. Olivia's reeling, but she's not out. She'll counter, her firm's digging into your LLC already. I nod, the weight of her warning settling. My phone buzzes. Priya, my CFO, her voice strained. Investors want an urgent Q1 forecast. That $3 million loan's spooking them, and your $4.7 million cash dips public now. Fix this, or we're in trouble. The pressure's suffocating, my empire teetering under the house's cost. Bennett Tech's future at risk. A memory floods back. I'm 12, at a Cape Cod rental, flying a kite with dad. Olivia steals him for photos, mom says, let her shine, and my kite crashes in the sand. Today, my kite soared, but Olivia's shadow looms, her claws still sharp. January 16th, I wake to Olivia's Instagram post. Cape dreams don't die. Stay tuned for the real legacy. Hashtag Bennett Legacy. Her defiance is a knife. Her legacy claim a direct taunt. Emma texts, she's meeting her firm today. They're probing your LLC, maybe planning a legal stunt. We need a counterplan, fast. I'm back at the Cape house, standing on the porch, the ocean's roar a challenge, the wicker chairs dusted with frost. The reveal was my triumph, shaking the family's foundation, but Olivia's fighting back, and my empire's on the edge. Mom and Dad's apologies, Clara's pride, cousins' shifting loyalties, they're with me, but not fully. I need to lock this victory down, prove this house is my legacy, not a fleeting purchase born of spite. The family's split, and Olivia's war isn't over. I'm ready for the next battle, but the cost, financial, emotional, might break me. January 17th, 2026, dawns with a pale, icy light filtering through my Boston apartment's floor-to-ceiling windows, the south end skyline a jagged silhouette against a snow-dusted Charles River. The city hums softly, but my mind is a battlefield, still reeling from the January 15th retreat at my $4.5 million Chatham estate, the Cape Cod mansion my family has dreamed of for years. My reveal that I owned it, not rented it, flipped Olivia's Christmas Eve shunning. Lucas, maybe sit this one out. Family only, you know. Into a triumph, shaking their foundation. Mom's tearful apology, Dad's quiet acknowledgement, Aunt Clara's fierce pride, and cousin's Instagram shift to hashtag Lucas legacy linger like a fragile victory, but Olivia's venomous exit. You're pathetic. This isn't over, and her January 16th Instagram post, Cape dreams don't die. Stay tuned for the real legacy. Signal a brewing counterattack. Bennett Tech, my AI-driven startup with $75 million in revenue, teeters under a $3 million loan and a $4.7 million cash drain from the house. Investors growing restless. I'm standing tall, but Olivia's lawyer instincts and my financial strain threaten to unravel everything. Today, I fortify my position, turning the Cape house into a lasting family legacy, not a fleeting jab at their dismissal. The past 2 days have been a high-stakes chess game, my nerves frayed but my resolve unyielding. Olivia's Instagram post, hinting at a real legacy, ignited family chatter, cousins texting in our group chat. What's Liv planning? Emma's warning. Olivia's law firm probing my LLC, Bennett Holdings, for any crack in the sale, confirmed her legal maneuvering, a desperate bid to reclaim her narrative. Priya's urgent call, my CFO at Bennett Tech, about jittery investors and a strained Q1 forecast piled on pressure, the $3 million loan a noose tightening around my empire. Clara's support at the retreat, Mom and Dad's apologies, and cousin's newfound respect are fragile gains, easily swayed by Olivia's charisma, her ability to spin my victory as spite. I'm at my desk, a sleek oak slab cluttered with monitors, coffee mugs, and a framed photo of a Cape Cod beach from childhood summers, drafting a plan to lock in my triumph. The house isn't enough. I need to make it a family anchor, a symbol of my success that binds them to me, while neutralizing Olivia's threat and stabilizing my company. At 8:30 a.m., I call Emma, her financial planner's voice crisp over the phone static, her back bay office a hum of keyboards in the background. She's buried in spreadsheets, her auburn hair likely pinned up, her desk a chaos of legal pads. Olivia's meeting her firm today, she says, her tone urgent. They're digging into your LLC, maybe claiming you misled the seller to block her bid. It's a weak case, but she's pitching it to the family, saying you stole their dream to hurt her. My stomach knots. Olivia's weaponizing her law degree, twisting my $4.5 million purchase into theft, rallying cousins to her side. Options? I ask, my coffee mug cold in my grip. Emma's voice steadies, her planner's mind cutting through the fog. Go public with your ownership, post on Instagram, tag everyone, make it undeniable, and invite them back to the house, a standing offer to share it. That kills her spite narrative. I'll check your LLC's legal standing, maybe file a preemptive counter. I nod, though she can't see, her plan dovetailing with mine. And Clara? I ask, knowing her support's shaky. She's with you, Emma says, but Olivia's pressuring her, saying you're divisive. Meet her, lock her in. Ted's wobbling too, work him. By 10 a.m., I'm crafting an Instagram post, my fingers hovering over the keyboard, the weight of 10,000 followers, family, friends, tech peers, pressing on me. The photos from the retreat, me on the Cape House porch, the ocean a gray roar behind, my navy sweater casual but resolute. The caption reads, proud to own our family's dream house in Chatham, built by Bennett Tech's $75 million success. Open to all who share it. Let's make memories together. Hashtag Lucas Legacy. I tag Mom, Dad, Clara, Ted, Sarah, cousins, even Olivia, a deliberate olive branch to blunt her spite claim. Posting feels like stepping onto a tightrope. Olivia's followers could amplify her counterspin, but it's a preemptive strike to cement my ownership. I hit share, my heart racing, the post gaining 200 likes in minutes, cousins commenting, wow, Lucas, and congrats, man. Mom texts, beautiful post, Lucas. We're so sorry again. Dad's silent. His cardiologists reserve a wall I can't breach. Olivia's profile stays quiet, a storm gathering. January 18th. I drive to Wellesley for coffee with Clara at her favorite cafe, its fogged windows framing a snowy street, the scent of fresh scones heavy in the air. Her gray curls frame a face etched with worry, her hands fidgeting with a porcelain tea mug, steam curling upward. Olivia's so upset, she says, her voice soft, almost pleading. She's telling everyone you stole her dream, that you're rubbing it in to hurt her. She's got papers, Lucas, says the sales shady. I lean forward, my voice gentle but firm, placing a folder on the table. Copies of the deed, Jane's affidavit, bank records. Clara, I bought it fair, all cash, for $0.5 million. The sale's clean, my LLC's solid. I want the family to share this house, not fight over it. Come to a dinner I'm hosting at the Cape, January 30th. Bring Ted, show them I mean it. Clara's eyes scan the papers, tears welling, her fingers tracing the deed seal. I believe you, Lucas, she whispers. I'll talk to Ted, maybe Sarah too. But Olivia's relentless. She's meeting a lawyer about a lawsuit. My stomach twists. Olivia's legal threat, even if baseless, could sway the family, fracture my fragile gains. I squeeze Clara's hand, planting a seed of loyalty, but her wavering gaze reminds me. Olivia's pull is magnetic. January 20th. A financial blow hits like a sledgehammer. Priya, my CFO, emails, her tone dire. Investors demand an emergency board meeting, January 25th. The $3 million loan and your $4.7 million withdrawal, house plus $120,000 decor, are red flags. We need a Q1 plan to calm them, or they'll pull funding. My chest tightens. Bennett Tech, my $75 million empire, my life's work, hangs by a thread, the Cape House a double-edged sword. I call Raj, my COO, his voice grim over the line. We're stretched, Lucas. Investors think you're distracted by this house drama. I outline a strategy. Accelerate a $5 million Google contract, cut non-essential R&D, and demo a new AI project management tool to wow the board. It's tight, Raj says, but doable. Your call. I spend nights coding the tool myself, my eyes gritty from screen glare, my apartment a fortress of takeout cartons and Red Bull cans, the Cape House a constant hum in my thoughts. A memory surfaces, raw and jagged. I'm 13, in our Wellesley basement, building a website for a local bakery, earning $500, my first paycheck. Olivia, 16, calls it pocket change. Dad chuckles. Mom shifts the conversation to Olivia's debate trophy, and the family claps for her. I stayed silent, the hurt fueling my drive to create Bennett Tech, to outshine their dismissal. Now, at 32, that pain drives me again. The Cape House is my website, a triumph they can't ignore, but Olivia's claws and my investors' doubts threaten to tear it down. January 22nd, Emma calls with a bombshell, her voice tense. Olivia's firm traced your LLC to a shell company you used for privacy, she says. They're drafting a claim, alleging you misled the seller to block her bid, maybe even fraud. It's flimsy, but she's pitching it to the family, saying you stole their legacy to spite her. My blood boils. Olivia's weaponizing her law degree, twisting my all-cash purchase into theft, rallying cousins to her side. It's nonsense. I snap, pacing my apartment, the skyline blurring through my windows. The sale was clean. Jane confirmed it. Emma agrees, her tone sharp. I'm filing a counter, notarized deed, sale records, Jane's affidavit proving it's airtight. But she's swaying cousins, Sarah's wobbling, Ted's backtracking. Host another event, fast, to lock them in. A family dinner, open invite, show you're sharing the house. I decide on a dinner at the Cape House, January 30th, framing it as a peace offering to build memories together. I text the family group chat. Join me for dinner at the Cape House, January 30th. Let's make this our home, together. Mom and Clara RSVP yes within hours. Ted's tentative, we'll see. Sarah and cousins hesitate. Olivia's silent, a storm brewing. January 24th, I drive to Chatham to prepare. The Cape's winter quiet wrapping the winding roads, pines heavy with snow. The house looms, its cedar shakes glowing in the dusk. The oceans roar a steady pulse through the beachfront windows. Mia's decor shines, linen curtains swaying, a long oak dining table set for 20, seascape paintings catching the light. I meet with caterers, planning a $3,000 menu. Roast cod, winter greens, blueberry cobbler, to evoke Cape summers, a nod to family dreams. But Olivia posts on Instagram. Truth about the Cape House coming soon. Justice for our legacy. Hashtag Bennett Legacy. The post hits 600 likes, cousins commenting, spill live, and what's the tea? My post, now at 1,200 likes, holds ground, with Clara's proud of you, Lucas, and Sarah's heart emoji, but Olivia's narratives gaining traction, splitting the family. I call Jane, the realtor, her Boston accent firm over the phone. Your sales rock solid, she says. LLC's clean, funds cleared, no fraud. She's got nothing but hot air. I thank her, my resolve firming, but Emma's warning. Olivia's rallying Ted and cousins, gnaws at my confidence. January 25th, the Bennett Tech Board meeting is a grueling Zoom gauntlet. Investors' faces stern across my laptop screen, their voices clipped. Your personal spending's a liability, Lucas, one says, citing the $4.7 million house and $3 million loan. I present the Q1 plan, $5 million Google contract secured, non-essential R&D slashed, a demo of a new AI tool I coded overnight. Its interface sleek and promising. Priya backs me, her spreadsheets meticulous, projecting 20% growth. Raj, my COO, pitches client retention, his voice steady. The board softens, granting a 60-day grace period to stabilize cash flow, but warns, no more stunts, Bennett. I exhale, my empire intact but trembling. The Cape House a gamble that could cost me everything. January 27th, I meet Sarah, a cousin who's wavered under Olivia's sway, at a Boston diner. Its vinyl booth sticky, the coffee bitter and burnt. She's in a parka, her brown eyes guilty, her fingers twisting a napkin. Olivia says you tricked the seller, she says, her voice low. She's got papers, Lucas, some bank letter. She's saying you did it to hurt her. I slide a folder across the table, deed, affidavit, bank records, my voice calm but firm. I bought it fair, Sarah, all cash, for $0.5 million. The sale's clean, and I want you all to share this house. Come to the dinner, see it for yourself, be part of it. She scans the papers, her shoulders relaxing, her loyalty shifting. Okay, Lucas, she says, her voice small. I'll come. But Olivia's furious. She's talking lawsuits, saying you're tearing us apart. I nod, the legal threat a cloud over my victory, but Sarah's RSVP is a small win, a crack in Olivia's wall. January 28th, a memory surfaces, soft but piercing. I'm 9, at a Cape Cod rental, building a sandcastle with Mom on the beach. Olivia, 12, drags her away for photos, Dad says. Let her shine, Lucas, and the tide wipes my work clean. Today, my sandcastle stands tall, the Cape House a monument to my empire, but Olivia's tide is rising, her legal and emotional waves threatening to erode it. I work late, refining the AI tool for a Google demo, my eyes gritty, my apartment a fortress of ambition and anxiety. January 29th, Emma emails, her tone brisk, counterfiled. Your sale's untouchable. Deed notarized. Jane's affidavit ironclad. Olivia's claim is a bluff, but she's got Ted and 2 cousins on her side, pushing a family meeting to confront you. The dinner's your shot. Win them or lose them. I prepped the Cape House. Caterers booked for January 30th. The dining room set with blue linens and hydrangea centerpieces. My speech rehearsed. A plea to share the house, not hoard it. I text the group chat, reinforcing the invite. Can't wait to see you all at the Cape, January 30th. Let's make this home ours. Clara's, we'll be there, and Sarah's looking forward, bolster me. But Ted's, maybe, and Olivia's silence scream trouble. January 30th looms. The dinner a make-or-break moment to cement my legacy. Olivia's legal jab, her sway over Ted and cousins, and Bennett Tech's financial strain could topple me. But I'm rooted, the Cape House my testament, built from years of silence against their dismissal. They'll see me, not Olivia's shadow, but the man who claimed their dream and offered it back. January 30th, 2026, is a crystalline winter evening on Cape Cod. The Atlantic a deep indigo under a sky pricked with stars, the air sharp with salt, and the faint bite of frost. I'm in the dining room of my $4.5 million Chatham estate, a shingle-style mansion with weathered cedar shakes and sea-glass windows, the dream house my family has coveted for decades. The long oak table is set for 18, its blue linen napkins folded neatly beside hydrangea centerpieces, the glow of a driftwood chandelier casting soft shadows across the room. The scent of roast cod with herb crust, winter greens, and blueberry cobbler wafts from the kitchen, a $3,000 catering spread designed to evoke the Cape summers we once shared. Tonight's family dinner, framed as a peace offering to share the house, is my final stand to cement its legacy after Olivia's Christmas Eve shunning. Lucas, maybe sit this one out. Family only, you know. And her relentless counterattack since my January 15th reveal that I owned this house. Mom, Dad, Aunt Clara, Uncle Ted, Sarah, and cousins are arriving, but Olivia's last-minute RSVP, accompanied by a lawyer friend, signals a showdown. Bennett Tech, my AI-driven startup with $75 million in revenue, teeters under a $3 million loan and $4.7 million house cost, with investors granting a precarious 60-day grace period. My heart pounds, a volatile mix of resolve, anticipation, and fear, as I prepare to unite the family, neutralize Olivia's legal and emotional threats, and secure my legacy, proving I'm more than the tech geek they dismissed. The past 2 weeks have been a grueling gauntlet of strategy, resilience, and raw determination. My January 17th Instagram post, proclaiming ownership of the Cape House and inviting the family to share it, soared to 1,500 likes, with Mom, Clara, Sarah, and cousins rallying behind #LucasLegacy, but Olivia's counterpost, truth about the Cape House coming soon, justice for our legacy, and her firm's flimsy legal claim, alleging I misled the seller to block her bid, sowed doubt among Ted and a few cousins. Emma's swift counterfiling, notarized deed, sale records, Jane's affidavit, proved my all-cash purchase airtight, but Olivia's emotional sway, painting me as a spiteful usurper, fractured family loyalty, pulling Ted and others toward her narrative. Priya's warning about Bennett Tech's investors, spooked by the $3 million loan and $4.7 million cash drain. House plus $120,000 decor, forced me to secure a $5 million Google contract and demo a new AI project management tool, earning a 60-day reprieve at the January 25th board meeting. Clara and Sarah's support, won through heartfelt talks at a Wellesley cafe and a Boston diner, bolstered my position, but Ted's wavering and Olivia's ominous silence in the family group chat signaled a final confrontation. Tonight, I aim to make the Cape House a shared legacy, a bridge to heal the family, or risk losing everything. My family's respect, my empire, and the self I've fought to define. At 4:30 p.m., I'm in the kitchen, its marble counters gleaming under skylights, overseeing caterers as they plate the cod, drizzle balsamic over greens, and set cobbler dishes to warm. The dining room's chandelier bathes the table in a soft glow, hydrangeas nodding in glass vases. The oceans pulse a quiet hum through the floor-to-ceiling windows. I wear a charcoal sweater and slacks, a deliberate choice for unity. The deed, Emma's counterfiling, and my speech notes tucked in my pocket, rehearsed until my voice cracked in the empty house last night. My phone buzzes with a text from Emma, en route with Clara. Olivia's bringing a lawyer friend, some document. Ted's shaky, but Sarah's solid. Stay cool, you've got this. My stomach lurches. Olivia's legal stunt, likely a bluff, could sway the family if I falter, but my evidence is unassailable, and Clara's loyalty is my anchor. I check the RSVPs. Mom, Dad, Clara, Ted, Sarah, 10 cousins, 2 aunts, 18 total, a fragile coalition I must bind together. By 5:45 p.m., cars crunch up the gravel drive, relatives spilling out in coats and scarves, their breaths clouding in the January chill. Mom, in a navy dress and pearl necklace, hugs me tightly at the door, her eyes glistening with guilt. This house is so beautiful, Lucas, she says, her voice trembling. We're so proud. Dad, in a gray blazer, grips my hand, his cardiologist's reserve softening, a rare warmth in his eyes. You've outdone yourself, son, he says, his voice gruff but sincere. Aunt Clara, her gray curls soft under a wool hat, squeezes my arm, whispering, I'm with you, dear. This is your moment. Uncle Ted, usually a boisterous presence, nods curtly, his eyes darting nervously, Olivia's influence evident in his tight jaw. Sarah, in a green parka, smiles shyly, her loyalty cemented at our diner talk, murmuring, It's amazing, Lucas. Cousins wander the porch, snapping photos of the wicker chairs dusted with frost, their Instagram stories split. Hashtag Lucas Legacy gaining ground, but hashtag Bennett Legacy. Olivia's hashtag still lingers. Then Olivia arrives, stepping from her leased Mercedes in a sleek black coat, her blonde chignon severe, a man in a pinstripe suit, her lawyer friend, beside her, clutching a folder. Lucas, she says, her smile a thin blade. Nice try, but this house isn't yours yet. The word, yet, lands like a gauntlet, her lawyer's eyes scanning the facade, but I usher them inside, my plan unfolding like a carefully coded program. The dinner begins, guests mingling in the living room, the hearth's crackle blending with the clink of Chardonnay glasses, the ocean's rhythm a soft backdrop. Olivia works the crowd with her lawyer's poise, her laughter bright but edged, whispering to Ted, a cousin named Jake, and Aunt Ellen, her lawyer hovering like a shadow. She points out the driftwood staircase, saying, perfect for family holidays, as if claiming the house mid-dinner. Mom pulls me aside by the staircase, its banister draped with a garland from Mia, her voice low and anxious. Olivia's saying you tricked the seller, Lucas, she says, her hands twisting. She's got papers, some bank letter. Is this true? I shake my head, my voice calm despite the pressure. It's clean, Mom. I'll prove it tonight. Dad overhears, his face stern, his wine glass paused. Clear this up, son, for all of us, he says, his tone heavy. Clara nods from across the room, her eyes fierce, grounding me as I feel Ted's gaze waver. At 7:30 p.m., I gather everyone at the dining table, the chandelier's glow softening the room's tension, the ocean's roar a distant challenge through the windows. I stand at the table's head, my hands steady, the cod plates steaming before each guest. Thank you for coming. I begin, my voice clear, meeting Mom's eyes, Dad's, Clara's, Sarah's, Ted's. This dinner's about family, about healing after Christmas, when I was told I wasn't family only. I pause, letting the words sink in, cousins shifting, Aunt Ellen avoiding my gaze. Olivia sits at the table's far end, her black coat draped over her chair, her lawyer beside her, his folder unopened, her smile tight and predatory. This house isn't a rental or a dream. I continue, pulling the deed from my pocket, its embossed seal catching the light. I bought it, fair and square, all cash, for $0.5 million, through Bennett Holdings, my LLC. Bennett Tech's $75 million success, clients like Google, IBM, Salesforce, made it possible. But I bought it for us, to share, not to divide. I pass copies of the deed, Jane's affidavit, and bank records to Emma, who distributes them with her planner's precision, her navy dress a quiet armor. Clara scans her copy, nodding firmly, her eyes shining. Sarah's widen, her loyalty cemented, while Ted hesitates, his fingers tracing the deed. Cousins murmur, Jake whispering, "It's legit," as he passes the affidavit to Aunt Ellen. Olivia stands, her voice slicing through the murmurs, sharp as a courtroom gavel. "This is a fraud, Lucas," she says, her lawyer opening his folder, pulling a document. A bank letter, stamped but vague. "You misled the seller, blocked my bid with dirty tricks. My firm's filing a suit. This house belongs to the family, not you." The room tenses, Mom gasping, her hand flying to Dad's arm, Dad frowning, his glass set down. Ted leans toward Olivia, his loyalty teetering, while Jake and a cousin exchange glances. I lock eyes with Olivia, her family-only jab echoing. But I'm armed, years of silence fueling my stand. "Your claim's baseless," I say, my voice firm, pulling Emma's counterfiling from my pocket. A notarized deed, sale records, Jane's affidavit proving the transaction's purity. "The sale was clean, Olivia. You had no bid. Your $200,000 salary, max credit cards, and leased Mercedes couldn't touch $4.5 million. These records show it." Emma passes the counter, her calm a shield, as cousins scan it, Sarah nodding. "It's all here." Clara's voice rises, soft but fierce, her gray curls trembling. "Lucas earned this house. Stop this, Olivia, please." Ted shifts, his eyes flicking to the affidavit, his loyalty wavering. Mom's voice breaks, cutting through the tension. "Olivia, enough," she says, her hand trembling on Dad's. "Lucas is family. We failed him too long." Dad clears his throat, his voice heavy. "You've gone too far, Liv. Let it go." Olivia's composure fractures, her folder trembling in her hands, her lawyer silent, his document exposed as a bluff. "You're tearing us apart," she snaps, her voice raw, but the room shifts. Jake sets his phone down, his Instagram story pausing. Sarah leans toward me, cousins' whispers turning to nods. Emma speaks, her voice clear, slicing through the haze. "Lucas built an empire from nothing. Respect it, or leave this house." Clara claps, tears streaming. Sarah joins, then Mom, Dad, Jake, Aunt Ellen, Ted hesitating but nodding, his loyalty swinging back. Olivia sinks into her chair, her black coat a dark shroud, her eyes blazing but cornered, her lawyer whispering retreat, his folder closing. I seize the moment, my voice softening, a bridge extended. "This house is open to all," I say, gesturing to the ocean beyond the glass doors. "Summers, holidays, weekends, come back, make memories, build our legacy together, not apart." Clara claps louder, her tears falling freely, Sarah's smile wide, Mom's hand squeezing Dad's. Cousins raise glasses, Ted joins, his nod firm, the family knitting around me, not Olivia. The dinner resumes, plates passed, laughter tentative but growing, stories of Cape summers surfacing, clam bakes, kite flying, dreams reborn. Olivia eats silently, her lawyer picking at his cod, her fight fading, though her eyes still smolder. February 1st, Olivia withdraws her legal claim, her firm conceding defeat, Emma's counter unassailable, the deed untouchable. She posts on Instagram, her words grudging but public. "The Cape house isn't mine, but family is. Congrats, Lucas. Let's move forward. Hashtag Bennett Legacy." The post gets 800 likes, cousins commenting, "Respect, live, and family first." I'm at the Cape house, standing on the porch, the ocean calm under a waxing moon, the wicker chairs dusted with frost. Priya calls, her voice lighter. "Google's $5 million hit early. Q1 stable. Investors are calming. The AI tool's a hit. Keep it tight, Lucas." Bennett Tech holds firm. "My empire's safe. The house a calculated gamble that paid off, though my $4.7 million drain still stings." February 3rd, I meet Olivia at a Chatham cafe, a quaint spot with fogged windows and the scent of fresh muffins. She's in a plain black sweater, no makeup, no lawyer, her eyes red-rimmed, her coffee untouched. "I was wrong," she says, her voice low, stirring the spoon absently. "I was scared, Lucas. You're bigger than me, Bennett Tech, this house, everything. I wanted the Cape house to prove I'm enough, to keep the spotlight. I'm sorry." Her honesty cracks my armor, a raw confession after years of rivalry. A memory floods back. I'm 8, at a Cape Cod rental, sharing a strawberry ice cream cone with Olivia. Our laughter pure before ambition and envy divided us. You're enough, Liv, I say, my voice soft, reaching across the table. Help me make this house ours, not mine or yours. Be my sister, not my rival. She nods, a tear slipping down her cheek, her hand squeezing mine. A truce forming, fragile but real. February 10th. The family gathers for a casual lunch at the Cape house. Clara baking her famous blueberry scones in the kitchen, Sarah and cousins playing cards on the porch, Mom and Dad sipping coffee by the hearth. Olivia joins, quieter, helping Clara with dishes, her laughter softer, her walls lowering. We walk the beach, the sand cold under our boots, sharing stories of childhood summers, kites tangling, clam bakes under the stars. Ted claps my shoulder, his bluster back, but warm. You've done good, kid, he says, Aunt Ellen nodding beside him. March 1st, another family weekend fills the house. Mom and Dad lounging on the deck, Clara reading by the fire, Sarah and Jake tossing a frisbee on the lawn, Olivia organizing a game night. Her smile tentative but genuine. Bennett Tech hits $80 million in revenue. The AI tool of breakout success, investors placated, the $3 million loan manageable. The Boston Globe runs a feature, Lucas Bennett's Cape Cod legacy, praising my tech empire and family bridge. The story trending on Twitter with hashtag #LucasLegacy. I stand on the beach, the house glowing behind, Dad's hand on my shoulder, Mom's smile warm. You've built something real, son, Dad says, his voice thick with pride, a cardiologist's precision yielding to love. The Cape house isn't just a victory, it's our salvation. Olivia shunned me, but I bought their dream, not to break them, but to mend us, brick by salt-worn brick. The real legacy isn't the deed or my empire. It's the family I reclaimed, the wounds we're healing, the summers we'll share under this roof. Thank you for joining this journey. Share your stories of rivalry and redemption below. And if this tale resonated, give it a thumbs up. Sometimes, the path to triumph begins with the moment meant to break us.